This is Sandy Tankus for TOS50.com, The Other Side of 50. And I'm speaking this afternoon with Helene Block Fields, the author of a wonderful book entitled Connecting Generations Through Grand Friendships. Helene lives in Chicago, and I'm speaking to her today from New York. Good afternoon, Helene.
Good afternoon, Sandy.
Helene, I read your book and I was really very taken with it. Why don't you explain to our audience what you mean by grand friendships?
I'll be happy to do that. Grand friendships are comfortable two-way connections between children and safe older adults, family or non-family, who live near each other. They can occur in neighborhoods, schools, and places of worship, and grand friendships can really enrich the lives of both children and older adults, and perhaps help recreate the village concept and bring us all back to a safer society. There are three levels of grand friendships: the casual ones in the neighborhood or backyards, the more involved connections, where parents can invite a special older person to help children bake holiday cookies, or then some of them actually could become actively involved connections, where parents invite the older adult to become a member of their extended family. They become an adopted grandparent.
How did you become interested in this subject?
Well, as a child, I had very positive relationships with my grandparents and older adults in my family, especially those in my neighborhood. And during the years I taught child development at a community college, I became a young grandmother, and I saw that children who had these close, warm relationships with their grandparents and other older people were much more verbal and advanced in their social and emotional and intellectual development. And I realized that children today, in today's mobile society, too many children are going to miss this attention and learning from experienced, kind older people. And that's why I became an intergenerational pioneer and helped set up programs for both the young and old in schools and centers. And research shows, Sandy, this is indeed the case. These matters, by the way, are all described in the powerful true stories in my book.
Have you ever had an experience with a child who became very close with a senior who then died?
I certainly have, more than one child. And in my book there are 3 chapters that deal with this issue. And I was really fortunate enough to interact with elementary school-age children who suffered the loss of a beloved senior in a program, in an intergenerational program. And 20 years later, I interviewed those same children as adults about the consequences of all of this and how they felt about this experience. And all of the adults agreed that this experience helped them deal with their lives today as adults, of death and dying, and they were also very positive about being with the older people when they were young. And these are also, my book documents their reactions as well.
Well, Helene, thank you so much for speaking with me today. Connecting Generations Through Grand Friendships is available through the TOS50.com website. I think it should be required reading for educators, certainly, and for everyone else who enjoys spending time with children.